election schedule has been announced and code of conduct in all across India, because national as well as state elections are also there in some states. So, now everybody has to act more coherently, and now the role of election commission is more and more important till the elections are completed. So, this is a debatable function, because we have seen over the years, ever since independence, we have seen election commissioners coming and doing it, but the only one person who has asserted the authority of election commission is T.N. Seshan. So, how do you think, in a overall analysis, pre-T.N. Seshan era and post-T.N. Seshan era, and has it made a real difference in the political scenario of Indian economy, Indian
elections?
Yeah,
I mean, one thing is certain. India has one of the free, fair elections being conducted regularly right from 1951. And democracy and democratic institutions have taken full shape as far as the country is concerned. Nobody can today say that India is not a functioning democracy. It's as good a functioning democracy as America is, or most of the Western European countries are. They try to belittle it, but they are no better. See the way, the type of scandals that come out in America, the way they could not decide an election when Al Gore and Bush fought, and finally court has to decide the elections, and the type of funding that goes on there, lobbies that work. So, compared to that, Indian elections are any day free and fair. And they have been going on from 51. And we had excellent election commissioners, there is no doubt about that. What makes T.N. Seshan special is, earlier to him, the election commissioners did not realize how important they are, how strong is their powers. That is where the contribution of T.N. Seshan lies. Since it's a constitutional post, once appointed, you cannot be removed unless you are impeached through a process set out in the constitution. So, you are all powerful. That power T.N. Seshan exercised much better than election commissioners earlier to him. He did 2-3 major changes. Earlier, elections were being held by the SPs and the collectors. The collectors used to report to the chief minister. There was no restriction on that. He told no. From the day the model code of conduct comes into existence, the whole staff, the collectors, the SPs, the police, the revenue administration, whoever is involved in the election, come under the direct control of the election commission, and they have nothing to do with the state government. So, no CM can call a collector, no collector is obliged to go to the CM or to any minister. Even ministers, when they go to these districts, they can't stay in the circuit houses and the government bungalows. So, all these restrictions, a proper code of conduct was put in place by Seshan. Of course, this code of conduct does not have a legal sanctity, but by convention, everybody has accepted, including all political parties. So, now it is a settled matter that the code of conduct is followed by everyone, and that credit goes to Seshan is one point. Second, earlier there was no supervision over the collectors and the SPs, the way they were functioning, but he brought in the concept of observers, election observers. So, senior IAS officers from different districts, states, means people from Andhra are taken and they are posted to Karnataka or to West Bengal or to Kerala or whatever it is. So that they go around and become the eyes and ears of the election commission in that local area. So, to that extent, there are checks and balances on the system. He also introduced this system of expenditure observers, especially income tax officers and others are posted as expenditure observers. They come and scrutinize the accounts of different candidates. If somebody says cash is being distributed there, they have a right to go there, seize it and report to the election commission, which is making this type of unhealthy practices difficult. So, this is another great contribution that TN Seshan has given to the election process. More than these two, there is another point in which he made a big contribution. Till then, how far the staff is under the election commission's purview was not clearly defined. If some collector does not work properly, if an SP does not work properly, who can suspend him? Can the election commission suspend him, or it is the state government? Law was not very clear on that. So, earlier what used to happen, if somebody does anything wrong, the election commission used to recommend it to the state government to take action, and state governments never took action, so it used to die down there. But he started taking action against the officers, suspending them, censuring them, giving them punishment and things like that. Once he started doing this, that was questioned in the Supreme Court. Finally, Supreme Court has settled it as a law. Today, during the period of the election, all those related to the election work are under the control of the election commission. So, election commission can suspend them if they don't perform well. They can charge sheet them. After charge sheeting them, if he is found to have indulged in a major irregularity, election commission can dismiss him from service also after appointing an inquiry officer. So, that's the amount of power that the election commission today has. So, that has largely made the administrative system independent of the political masters, and coming under the election commission to that extent has contributed to free and fair elections being held across the country. That is the greatest contribution of Seshan to the system.
And even after post-election also, if the officers cross the what we call as Lakshmana Rekha, they are liable for suspension and disciplinary
No, I mean
action.
post-elections also, they are only responsible for the period they worked in election. Anything on that day happening, yes, but post-elections, once they go back and start working under the state government, no, they don't come under the purview of the election commission. Then the state government is responsible. But this action initiated at the time of election can go on after also. That can go on, but that should be with reference to a certain duty performed or not performed during the time of election. To that extent only.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for giving the good inputs on the election commission role. We'll meet next week.
Thank you.